friends of Faith Before Fitness, do you struggle with low back pain? If so, I'm going to teach you some exercises and stretches you could be doing to help relieve that pain. And I'm also going to read you a verse that talks about Jesus being our mediator. When I think of a mediator, I think of a bridge, or when I think of a bridge, I think of a mediator. So we will be doing bridges in this workout. So I'm going to share with you one of the many verses where it talks about Jesus being our mediator. This is from Hebrews 9:15. For this reason, Christ is the mediator of a new covenant, that those who are called may receive the promised eternal inheritance. Now that he has died as a ransom to set them free from the sins committed under the first covenant. So, I love that because I think of that visual where it talks about there's heaven, there's the big chasm, and then there's us. And something needed to bridge the gap in between. So Jesus, you think about the cross coming down over the big gap, and Jesus is the one who made it possible for us to enter heaven. So that's what I think about when I think of the bridges that we're going to be doing in a little bit. But first we're going to start with our foam roller. So with our foam roller, we're going to start with our quads. So tight quads cause all kinds of problems. So it's also a problem causer for low back pain. So we're going to foam roll from the tops of your knees up to the tops of your hips. And again, we're going to keep this foam roller. We're going to go and keep our elbows underneath our shoulders the whole time. And we're going to assess through that muscle. And then once we find a spot we want to work on, that's where we'll stay. And you can do the opposite muscle fibers back and forth in this direction. And if you want more pressure, then you're going to lean more on one side than the other. All right. So we're going to take that straight into our adductor stretch, or our adductor foam roll. So right here, we're going to go from the top of our knee all the way through. And I did 100 squats today with 105 pounds. So my abductors are a little sore from that today. All right, so here we go with this. Moving on over to the other side. All right. Low back pain is no fun. All right, so now we have our IT band and our TFL. All right, so IT band is the one that's up closer to your hip. And if you're new to this stretch, you're gonna keep this top leg over, and that will relieve some of the pressure. If you want more pressure, then you can stack your legs. If you want more pressure than that, you can do a star pose. So that will give you all the different amounts of pressure that you need. So that's your TFL. Then we're going to take it down the IT band. So that's from the top of your knee all the way up to where your TFL was. And you can give yourself an assessment coming through, finding the worst of the worst and staying there. And again, least amount of pressure if your leg is over, more pressure if you stack, ooh, and even more pressure if you star pose. Ooh-wee. I'm feeling it right there. on this side, we're going to take it to our piriformis. Now this is a little bit of a harder one to figure out. So you'll start as if you're doing, well, you can start off on your sit bones here. And then you can cross one leg over, and then you're going to roll past your cheek and up to the side. So when you're doing that one piriformis stretch, it will be the same muscle right here. So when I do the other side, and then you also can do it with your top leg over, and then you can get even a different stretch by putting your bottom leg over. And now you can see that figure 4 piriformis stretch that you would be doing. That is the muscle that you want to have your foam roller on. So right in there. And then whichever way you're finding more pressure is how you can do that one. All right, so we're going to take it over to the other side for that TFL. All right, here we are. And opposite muscle fiber, so that this is going to be your least amount of pressure. More pressure if you want it, and even more pressure if you want more pressure. Most people don't want more pressure, but if you've been foam rolling for a while, you might need it. All right, taking it down to the IT band, and always keep your elbow underneath your shoulder. Roll through there. You might find all the way through your TFL, you might find one here, 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 here. So you could spend a whole bunch of time getting to each one of these spots and staying on them on each spot for 30 seconds. But right now, ooh, I found myself a good one right there. So I'm gonna get more pressure. And then if you want more pressure, that star pose. And foam rolling is a really good core workout. You can feel all of your oblique muscles working. It's a good shoulder workout. All these things you're doing in plank here. All right, so now we're gonna get into the piriformis on this side. So roll, roll, roll past your booty cheek, and it's right above. Maybe where the pocket starts, like the pocket of your jeans, where it would start. That might be where, ooh, I found it right here. So I'll try to cross over this way so you can see it more, right in here. And you should feel it if you were on that spot. So the piriformis is a sneaky muscle. It's the muscle that takes over for the glute medius. So if you think you're working your glute medius and you're not activating it properly, your piriformis is kind of being a bully and pushing your glute medius around and pushing it to the side and taking over. So think about where your glute medius should be, or where you think it is, and then that's the piriformis that is tightening up and causing us not to use our glutes that we're supposed to be using. And when that happens, we're getting low back pain because our glutes are not activating the way they should be. All right, so that's it for the foam rolling. Now we are going to do stretching for the same muscles. So now we're going to stretch that TFL, which I've shown you this one before. I find the best way to stretch that TFL is to do that little sassy girl, push the hip out, and there you go. Right down in here. And holding that stretch. When we do corrective exercise programs, we're working with a static stretch. So this static stretch, unfortunately, is 30 seconds long. So, all right, over to the other side. Push that hip out and feel that working down your side. And we'll just keep holding this till it feels about 30 seconds. All right, your piriformis stretch, you can do it a variety of ways. You can do it standing up like this, so you can probably see it better like this. So if you're a person who doesn't like to go on the floor, you can hold onto a wall. If you don't need to hold onto a wall, which I don't, I can show it to you like this. So there's your figure 4 stretch. But this one works better the more you push your hips back. So get your hips back. The more you're pushing back, the more you're gonna work that piriformis. So if you're having trouble with that and you'd rather do it on the floor, then you can do it on the floor like this. So without having to worry about the balance and all that, I think you can get a bigger stretch if you do it on the floor like this. That way you're not focusing on your ankle stability and everything, and you can really focus on the stretch. Now, this stretch that you're feeling right now, that is where your foam roller should be when you're foam rolling your piriformis. All right, we're gonna switch sides. One of my love-hate relationships with stretches is this next one. I never even knew it was a thing until I became a personal trainer. So it's the biceps femoris. So you're going to take it like you're stretching your hamstring like this, but then you're going to take it across. You're going to keep your shoulders down and take your leg across, and then you're going to feel that upper portion of your hamstring. But that one does a doozy on me, especially if you point your toe towards your face. And then you'll feel that stretch all the way down. And it might not feel very pleasant. But breathe through it and don't overstretch. Never think you have to overstretch a muscle. Just be gentle. All right, take it over to the side. And there we go. Ooh, and the more you straighten your leg, the more you're going to feel that one. Oh boy. All right. So our next one is the adductors. So I feel like the video that I just did had a lot of these same movements. So a lot of the same tight muscles cause muscle imbalances. So this is the adductor stretch. And I definitely did not do the other side for 30 seconds, so we might need to go back to it. So you want to get your inner thighs stretched out here. And we'll go back to the other side. Now we're going to move on to activation. And that will be the stability ball bridge with the verse I was telling you about, the mediator. All right, so we're going to get on the ball. Let me show you this again. So we're sitting on the ball. We're going to walk ourselves out so that you are now a tabletop. So you're already working your glutes, supporting yourself, making yourself a table, and then you're going to lower down and press through your heels, squeeze your glutes, and bring yourself up to the top and squeeze your glutes at the top. So we're gonna do 15 of these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I would like to go down farther, but I feel like my ball, this is a slippery ball, and it'll slide out behind me. So go down as far as you can and back up. As down as far as you can and back up. So I think we have 4 more. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So you might not have a stability ball. So if that's the case, you can just do your bridge on the floor without a stability ball, just like that. No reason to not do your bridge if you didn't have a stability ball. All right, so our next one is our good old opposite arm, opposite leg exercise. So we're on all fours. We're going to draw in, do that drawing in maneuver to feel that transverse abdominis taking over. Now we're going to take our leg straight back and our arm straight forward and squeeze that glute. And other side, squeeze, inhale, and exhale. Inhale. You should be one straight line. So sometimes if you're not paying attention, your leg might go in different directions, might be up high or low. Try to be one straight line with your spine. A lot of times it takes looking at yourself in a mirror to see what your body is doing, or filming yourself and watching your video when you're done and critiquing yourself. All right. But you don't want to watch yourself the whole time, because it's best to have your head positioned for your spine to be neutral the whole time. So if you were watching yourself the whole time like this, then your spine is not neutral. So you just want to take a little look-see at yourself, or film yourself and watch it when you're done. But you don't want your head looking up like this. You don't want your head looking down at your knees. You just want as neutral as possible. One straight line from the top of your head to the tip of your toe. And you want to be very intentional with this move. So it's not like you could do this all day long, but this is where it's at. Bringing that leg back and squeezing that glute and holding that pause at the top of the movement and really making that glute activate, because those weak glutes and the weak transverse abdominis are causing that low back pain. So this is a really good exercise to strengthen both of those muscles. Now I've been talking and talking, 15 on each side, so a total of 30. I'm not sure how many we did because we were just talking through it. But the next one is a wall slide. So you could do this one with or without a band. If you don't have a band, don't worry about it. The band is just going to add some extra resistance. And I have about 100 bands, so why not use it, right? So a wall slide, you're gonna take it up and lower. Now again, you wanna be intentional with the move. So none of this going on here. You want to squeeze that glute before you even start the move. Get a good squeeze and up and hold and down. Take it up, hold and down. If you fly through exercises, especially flying through corrective exercises, you're not going to do much correction. So unless you're going to give it your all-out effort, then you're not going to see results very quickly. Now this move is called a wall slide. So imagine that your leg is sliding against the back of the wall. So if you're here, you're not going to feel it where you need to feel it as much as you would if you are thinking about sliding. Like you can even see my face is now starting to wince more because it's really working the glute muscles that it needs to work when you are imagining that you're sliding your leg against the wall. All right, we're gonna do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, now we need to take it to the other side. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna count this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 5 more. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now we have lateral band walking. So this, I mean, you can do it if you don't have a band, but you're really not going to get the benefit that you need. So you can have the band at your thighs and bring yourself into a slight, if you're anything like me and you have an anterior pelvic tilt, then you want to think about tucking your pelvis under. So bring yourself up, tuck under, and then do your band walking from there, making sure everything is tight, making this movement happen from your hips rather than your knees. So then if you want it to be a little more difficult, then you're going to take the band lower. So the lower you take the band, the more difficult this move will become. And then you can take it ultimately to your feet, and then that will be the most difficult of the band walking. So again, you're going to want to do 15 on each side, so a total of 30. Make sure you're engaging your glutes. Eighteen, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. All right, so that was our program to help you prevent your low back pain. So hopefully you will do this program, hopefully you see results, and I will see you tomorrow with another workout and another scripture. See you then. Bye-bye.